So the other day I was watching The Pursuit of Happiness for like the 100th time. Please don't judge me. It's a really good film. When a question popped in my head after realizing something quite odd about the main character's decisions in this film. Now before I tell you my question, I do have to give some context, just in case there's some people who haven't seen it. So if you don't want to hear me rambling with my summary and just want the question, I'll leave a timestamp so you can skip to it, and hopefully remember to put it on the screen when editing. Okay, so in a nutshell, The Pursuit of Happiness is about a salesman called Chris Gardner. He's an entrepreneur who sells machines called bone density scanners to doctors. The only problem with these devices is that they're seen as an unnecessary, clunky, and expensive piece of equipment over traditional X-ray machines. And unfortunately for Chris, he wasn't aware of the fact that doctors don't really have a need for them. But he's put all his life savings into these devices, so he literally has no other choice but to sell them. And with no one buying them on a monthly basis, he has a very unpredictable income. Some months he's dead broke, and other months he sells one or two machines and can pay the rent. Now the movie focuses on the months when he basically can't sell these machines, and how it leads to him getting kicked out of his apartment and eventually living in a homeless shelter with his son. Even though he's homeless, he gets an opportunity to attend an unpaid trading program at Dean Witter's. It's like a Wall Street firm that focuses on investments for other companies. And when he's not at Dean Witter's, he's trying to sell these machines in his free time while dealing with being unemployed. So that's the gist of the film, and hopefully I didn't bore you to sleep too much. But yeah, basically my question is, why didn't Chris Gardner just get a minimum wage job? Look, first of all, I'm not American, so I don't know how things work over there. But I'll have to admit, I always see videos online of young adults working minimum wage and basically having a nice looking apartment, an iPhone, and even a car sometimes, which for me makes it look like it's possible to make a living with these entry-level jobs. So why didn't Chris Gardner just focus on getting an entry-level job, sell his machines when he can, whilst going to his trading program at Dean Witter's? I mean, if you ask me, going homeless because you can't sell some machines to doctors is a crazy thing to accept for yourself, especially when there's probably a dozen local supermarkets you could have applied at. And mind you, the story is set in the 1990s, so basically the golden age of America, where you're probably getting paid very well, even if you weren't working in an office job. But yeah, I was just stunned by his decision to literally live in a homeless shelter without even trying something else. And also the funny thing is, he was a salesman, so he actually had the skills that they would want when working in a supermarket. One example I can think of is just being good with people, and if you watch the movie, that was one thing that he excelled at. I remember there's one scene where he goes to an interview at Dean Witter's and he's dressed looking like a garbage man. But somehow he makes it work in his favor and they give him an opportunity to train there. So if he passed that, he can definitely pass an interview at Walmart or something. But maybe it's a bit of an ego thing. Like I guess I can see how working for yourself for so long can make it seem like a downgrade if you had to work minimum wage. And I can only imagine the conversations he would have with his co-workers. Hey Chris, you're new here? What did you do before working at the store? Ah, well, you know, I was an entrepreneur and I got this job just to pay the rent. How about you? Well, I'm just doing this to pay for university. I'm studying to be an engineer. Yep. Having a conversation like that would definitely kill my whole mood. But still, that's a better experience than being homeless if you ask me. But you know, now that I think about it, if anyone watching this video is an entrepreneur, I'd be very curious to know what you would do in a situation like that. Like let's just say we're in the current year and your business is losing money and it's quite obvious that you might have to make some changes in your life or go homeless. What would you guys do? Would you downgrade your lifestyle just to make ends meet, sell your business for some cash, or do what Chris Gardner did by going homeless while trying to revive the business? So yeah, that's it for this video. I just had that on my mind and it's been bugging me for some time now. Also, before I forget, if any of you do actually have some real life experiences with a bad year in business, I'd be really interested in hearing about how you handled it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.